our NBA Rapid Fire segment. Let's kick it off. Craig Trapp from Picks and Parlays. Let's start with the New York Knicks against the Charlotte Hornets. The Knicks are 17-40, 30-26-1 against the spread. They're 4-6 in the last 10. They're on a 4-game losing streak. 9-20 straight up and 16-12-1 against the spread. That's on the road. Not a good road team. 14-14-1 in terms of over, under, and away. So it's evenly spread there away from home. The Hornets, 19-37. They're 26-28-2 against the spread. Yeah, another crappy team, to be fair. 4-6 in the last 10, coming off a 29-point loss to the Brooklyn Nets. So, two rubbish teams. Are we surprised it's a -1 for the visitors, for the New York Knicks, with a total of 206? Craig, how do you like this one?
Well, rarely you're going to see this Knicks team's favorite on the road. That tells you how bad this Hornets team has been in recent form. I just don't know how you play the Hornets. I mean, I watched some of that Pacers game. I had the Pacers, and the Hornets, I mean, the lack of effort was glaring. I don't care who's in, who's out. These are all pros, and they didn't show a whole lot of professionalism. I do think they'll play a little better. They're back home, and that always brings a little more motivation. But I just like the Knicks here. I think the Knicks, you'll lay the -1 here. You don't watch this game because this one's going to be ugly.
Sometimes you just have to hold your nose and go make a bet,
Just a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube page and hit the bell if you want notifications every time we post a new video.
All right, let's do it. Knicks -1 it is. Allie, what's next?
All right, so I've got another bum fight for you. I love Triple B, Tony Brown, for saying bum fight because it's my favorite way to describe these kinds of games. I've got Orlando at Atlanta. Orlando is 25-32. Atlanta's 17-42. Both teams are healthy. That's about all they have going for them. Orlando's coming off a win at Brooklyn, 115-113. Atlanta's coming off a loss to the 76ers, 129-112. They're both 4-6 in their last 10. Need help defensively. I'm seeing the Magic as a road favorite, -2, and the total's at 225.5. Which bum do I pick?
The positive for Atlanta is obviously Trae Young, a second-year player, started in the All-Star game, of course. He's having an unbelievable season. This line opened as Orlando -3, was bet down to 2. I see it back at 2.5 here, so I like Atlanta. I just think Atlanta at home, they score so much easier at home. And Orlando, the one thing they don't do is score easily. They really have to work hard to score. They have to win usually with their defense. It's hard to beat Atlanta playing a low-scoring game because Atlanta just scores a lot of points. They give up a lot of points usually too, but I'm going to take Atlanta Hawks here. I think I'm going to take them on the money line because I think they either win outright or they get blown out. So I'm going to take Atlanta. I see it at +120. Take the Atlanta Hawks here to get it done on hump day.
Well, the plus money honey loves a +120. All right, Nick, who do you got?
I got the Clippers and the Suns. The Clippers 38-19, 30-20-27 against the spread. 5-5 though in the last 10. 27-point win over the Grizzlies. That snapped a 3-game loser they were on. 15-13 straight up. For as good as this team is, they're not a great road team. 13-15 against the spread. Those are on the road. 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games. The Suns 24-34, 27-30. And 1 against the spread. They're 4-6 in the last 10, but look, they're on a 2-game win streak now, right now, with wins against the Jazz and the Bulls. They are, however, 11-18 straight up and 11-17-1 against the spread at home. The total for the Suns has been under in 4 of the last 5. And the Clippers, as mediocre as they are on the road, still 5.5-point favorites here. Obviously, a much better team with a total of 233. Any surprises here, Craig?
I was actually a little surprised that the Clippers were this big of favorites, but sounds crazy. But what I would have worried about if the Clippers were only a 2 or 3 point favorite, which is probably where I thought the line was going to come out, that always makes it fishy for me. I kind of like when the line's a little more than you think, and it's not as square as play to play the Clippers here. I think the Clippers win. I think they finally got everybody back last game. Of course, it was the day of the Kobe Bryant Memorial at the Staples Center. They played later that night, so I think the Clippers had a lot to prove. Both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are big Kobe fans, and Kobe did a lot with them, training with them in the offseason, especially this last year. So I think the Clippers are riding a little high right now. I think they ride that high to a win in Phoenix. Phoenix, like you said, not good against the spread at home, just 11-17 and 1 against the spread at home. And I think the Clippers use that momentum that they had on Monday with that Monday win to get the big win tonight, and they cover too. So lay the -5.5 with the LA Clippers.
I like that. All right, 5.5. Lay the 5.5 with the Clippers. Allie, what's your next one?
All right, we're going down south. I'm going to talk Memphis and Houston. The Grizzlies are 28-29, and they have a lot of injuries. They have lost 3 in a row. All of those were on the road. They're coming off a loss at the Clippers, 124-97. They're 5-5 in the last 10, and they're cruising on into Houston. Really tough team to play at home. They're 37-20. They've won 4 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10. Coming off a home win against the Knicks, 123-112, and I'm showing Houston at -10. I don't have a total on that yet. Do you?
Yeah, no total out listed. Like you said, a lot of injuries for the Grizzlies, a lot of up in the air question marks who's going to play in this one. But, the Grizzlies were embarrassed against the Clippers. They haven't been good in this road stand. I think this young team, though, plays with a little pride in this one. Obviously, anytime you play James Harden and Westbrook, these young guys grew up watching these guys. So I think they're going to come and play a lot bigger than the line indicates. I think Memphis stays in this game right into the end. I think I'm going to take the Memphis Grizzlies here in a bounce back game, getting to 10 points. I think they lose, but I think it's a lot closer. And I think Houston, without once they traded Capella, I mean, they basically can't rebound the ball. They need to score and outscore people. That's a tough team, Memphis, to outscore because they do score in bunches as well.
Right. All right, Nick, what do you got?
All right, well, my game is Memphis versus Houston. But, Allie, you just did that one. So why don't you take on the next game and you just go with it? Because I'm out. I'm out of games.
All right, well, I have Philly and the Cavs also. So the 76ers, 36-22, coming off a win versus the Hawks, 129-112. They're 5-5 in their last 10, but 9-20 on the road. Cavs 16-41. They won 125-119 in overtime versus Miami. They're 3-7 in their last 10, 8-22 at home. Was that right? The Philly is 9-20 on the road. Did I write that down incorrectly? I've got Philly -7.5 and a total of 220. Lay it on.
Well, I think that road record is correct. 9-20
Wow,
and 7-20-2 against the spread on the road. So not a good team straight up, not a good team against the spread. And now you're laying 7.5 points without Simmons, by the way, as well for the Sixers. I don't think so. You got to take the Cavs here. I think the Cavs actually have a shot to beat them outright. This Cavs team, obviously they've not had a good year. The John Beeline getting out of the way, I mean, that was just a terrible hire. Cleveland sports in general are just terrible hiring coaches, both the Browns and the Cavs. They've went through 12 coaches in the last 10 years between the two of them. So some of them are interim coaches, obviously, but still. I just think Cleveland is the play here. I think Cleveland's much better now that Beeline's gone. I just think they're more professionalism, more experience as far as the head coach in the NBA is concerned. And I just think Philly's terrible on the road. How can you lay 7.5 points with a Sixer team that's banged up and is terrible on the road? Let's take the Cleveland Cavaliers plus 7.5. Maybe even sprinkle a little money line action. I think Cleveland has a shot to win this one.
Good call.
Craig Trapp, always a pleasure. NBA Rapid Fire. There you have it. You can find Craig at picksandparlays.net. And look,